Now, the audience submitted questions before we, and they had a question for you, repeatedly actually. And it's the question you probably get from scientists all the time, which is, it basically comes down to why are these grant applications so hard? But there was a concern brought up that is the kind of creativity that we saw from Jim Rothman, who we'll be bringing back on stage in a minute, who won the Nobel Prize for his work on what the little vesicles inside cells, kind of analogous to these exosomes do. Is the kind of creativity he was able to have back then still possible with the grant application process we have now?
Well, I worry a lot about that. And it's partly the process, but it's actually more the fact that we are historically, in NIH's situation, at the lowest point in 50 years in terms of the proportion of grant applications that actually can get funded. Traditionally, that's been about 1 out of 3. And even that's pretty tough. But now it's 1 out of 6. When we look at grants that were funded back 20 years ago, where we could fund all the way from the 1st percentile to the 35th percentile, and we look at productivity by whatever measure you would like to use, expert, opinion, publications, citations, and so on, when you sort of look at that top 25 to 30%, peer review can't tell the difference. They all look about the same in terms of output. But we're only funding half of those now, so we're throwing away half the good science. We can be pretty sure of that, which is enormously frustrating. We try to make the best of the resource situation by squeezing the budgets, and Jim pointed out how that also is painful for a young investigator who's trying to do something creative. But if we didn't squeeze the budgets, well, then the success rate would be even lower. Maybe it'd be 10% instead of our current 16. The big problem here, frankly, it doesn't have to do with the grant application format. It has to do with the fact that we've lost 25% of our purchasing power for research over the last 12 years, and that has to get fixed, and that's why I'm spending more time on Capitol Hill than I ever have. And I might even venture that the mood right now could be the best it's been in 5 years, and we might have a chance in this coming year to see that turned around.
Let's take our seats. You take that one there.
Okay.